Na na na. So there's my bad singing. Na na.
Na 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 na.
The fact that I can do this all in seconds and then rendering, it is kind of insane.
Oh.
Hey everyone, Brian here with SampleLibraryReview.com, and today we're going to check out the Clara Sorace vocals for Ace Studio. Now, this is a little bit different. This is not a sample library. This is the AI voice, Clara Sorace, who you might know from her collaborations with Zero G Ethera, so Ethera Gold and all that stuff. The singer for those libraries and for a lot of different projects worldwide. Clara's a great vocalist. She has worked with Ace Studio to train their AI on her voice, and you can create your own vocal phrases with custom lyrics using technically an AI version of her voice. This is going to be included in the artist version of Ace Studio, which their pricing is $16.58 a month. And then if you pay that for 2 years, you will own a license for it. So I guess that's sort of rent to own. 2 years, once that's up, you will own the product and you won't have to pay the monthly fee anymore. So this is obviously a little bit different. If you're like me and am totally turned off by anything AI, trust me, I understand. Trust me, I was very weary going into anything AI, but they work together to bring you this AI model of Clara's voice. So yeah, this is not a plugin. It is its own software. So this is the Ace Studio software. It works just like a DAW. We have Clara Epic and Clara Dark. And really what you do is just type in MIDI, or excuse me, draw in MIDI or play it on your keyboard, and then type in lyrics. For example, I tried my best to get it to say sample library review. Okay, so we'll listen to this opening demo. This one is Clara Epic, this one is Clara Dark, and they're kind of harmonizing here. Then it goes on to play a single, just one voice at a time.
See now, you see now, see now, you see now.
And then finally, you can record your own voice, convert it to MIDI, and then play whatever you want to sing, even the lyrics, with Clara's voice. It's kind of crazy. Na na na. So there's my bad singing. Na na. Just saying the Titanic theme with na 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 na. And then it did take a little bit of adjusting, but this is what it turned into.
Na 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 na
So that part right there easily impressed me the most. Okay, so recording your own voice, even if you can't hit the notes that well, transport it into, or transform it, convert it to MIDI like that. So it like captured the length of the notes that I held, the syllables, the everything. That was my favorite part. Let's go into kind of an individual MIDI part here. We'll solo her. And as you can see, you got your piano roll there. You can draw in MIDI just like you normally would. You type a syllable there. So let's say na. These ones all just have a dash, meaning it'll continue with the na, just like a legato transition between those. So it won't re-trigger na, 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 na every single time. As you can see, when I hit play, it's always going to have to render this. Let's say I change this to na. It's going to, again, rendering. So another cool thing is we can go in. Let's say I delete that, add a breath here. So that's kind of a natural. So any space between notes, you can add a breath there. This will allow you to adjust air, falsetto, tension, energy, and then a formant. Now, when I really messed around with these, sometimes it completely ruined the performance. So something to keep in mind there. Let's go in for the air. Well, let's see. It might sound awful. Kind of sounded like she had her mouth full. Like she had too much peanut butter and she's trying to sing. So, obviously that was an extreme extreme curve there, went all the way down. But you could hear what it did. So I've noticed, just too much of that will just really make it sound a lot more artificial. So to show you how the MIDI works in real time, just move those notes, rendering. So it triggers that, hit a dash right there. There's a little fall at the end, you can hear it like that as well. Falsetto. Again, I tried this really extreme before and it did not sound good, so. Just a little, that's pretty nice, a little curve there. Tension is another one. We will do this again. If it sounds horrible, we'll use a more subtle curve. So that one, I mean, it did make it sound a little artificial, but it was more usable than when I really mess with the air. So I'm going to try like kind of like in steps instead of like, a curve in the middle of a syllable. So, you'd think you'd maybe want tension to go up as she's ending the phrase. So that was tension. And then energy sort of, notice it works kind of like dynamics. So you have those different things you can adjust, as well as click this, can add, a ton of vibrato at the end. The vibrato sounds really good. So for the most realistic performance, I found really not messing with any of these, maybe a little bit, but the vibrato itself goes a long way. So this is modulation here. This is pitch. The fact that I can do this all, not quite in real time, but as, within seconds and then rendering, it is kind of insane. Using too much of these controls down there, I've noticed just does not, it makes it really quickly go into the unnatural, artificial, uncanny valley. But really, using it, my favorite application for it is just recording your own voice and then singing over your own beats, whatever it may be, epic trailer music, songwriting, whatever. And getting a result like this is insane.
No, 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 no.
And then being able to go in and say, it was pretty easy to get it to say what I wanted it to say here, which was sample library review. If you're familiar with other libraries like word builders and stuff like that, it's pretty easy, kind of spelling things out in a more exaggerated way. Of course, that's not how you spell library, but it sounds good when I type it like that and play. So even by the recommendations of the people who kind of created and trained this voice, it is best for not real words, but it still did pretty good there. It's best for kind of creating your own languages. Let's say This is just, really ooh, see nah, you say no. Like it was just kind of this weird fantasy, like Lord of the Rings type chanting or singing that I just made up.
Ooh, Sina, Sina, ah, ah, ah,
So the little human touches, like as she slowly, does a vibrato and her voice slowly fades out. That was all done just when I rendered the MIDI. That was all just done within this. I didn't adjust anything. It just kind of came out that way. And it sounds really good to me. Let's add a breath here. So it's the epic, here's the dark.
Sina, Sina, oh, 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 da, da, da.
So let's try this, but re-triggering the word every time. So it's not quite as pronounced. So you saw there how easy it is to do this in real time. I think this would really be good for more dense tracks. It did very quickly get into too artificial, maybe like artifacts between legato transitions, or I did not mess with the formant here, but a lot of times it did sound like there was a formant effect going on, meaning as the note is being held, she's kind of going ow, and like moving her mouth so that the syllable or whatever is being held is pronounced in a strange or unnatural way. So let's kind of do this just to see what effect that might have. So you could hear there that introduced it. I did it extreme on purpose because I believe you'll be able to fix some of those things by obviously adjusting this and adding a curve or a slope if the first rendered material doesn't quite sound right, or just kind of evening it out if it needs a little bit of that. So again, this is a weird one, a different one. Not so much playing as well as telling you what it can do, and then you heard it there for yourself. I think it is mind-blowing technology. I like that they work together to achieve this. They're not ripping off someone's voice. Clara gets paid when you use this. I still think it has a long way to go, though. But what you can hear right here, just doing the sample library review, the lyrics there, it sounded not real, but it's kind of funny. It's kind of a gimmick at this point. I think using it for the ahs and oohs, and specifically and especially recording your own voice, getting it's just so easy. If you're recording an epic track, you made a track, you just have a mic and you sing into it what you want to hear, and then convert it to an epic female vocal instead of some guy singing out of pitch into a microphone with zero emotion. You get this. So that is easily the best application for it, in my opinion, is recording your own voice and then whatever you want, and then having this convert it to MIDI and use it as an epic female voice. That is insane and stuff that just wouldn't be around years ago. So I think it has a long way to go. I really like the concept. I do not like AI generated things in general. So if you saw this and immediately turned it off, trust me, I get it. I didn't have interest in this until I learned how closely they worked with Clara and how she makes money from it. They're not stealing anything. You heard it here. Let us know what you think in the comments. Thank you guys for checking this one out with me and experimenting and pushing through this one. I will see you guys next time.